500 billion naira to cushion the effects of fuel subsidy. Essentially, the president is seeking the amendment of the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act to accommodate the funds. Speaker of the House, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, read the letter of the president's request yesterday, Wednesday, at plenary, titled Request for the Amendment of the 2022 Appropriation Act. The letter read in part. He said, I write to request the approval of the House of Representatives on an amendment of the 2022 Appropriation Act in accordance with the law. The request has become necessary in order to source funds to provide necessary palliatives to cushion the effect of the recent removal of fuel subsidy in Nigeria. The sum of 500 billion naira only has been extracted from the 2022 Appropriation Act of 819.536 billion for the provision of palliatives to Nigerians to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal. I expect that the House will speedily consider the request. Abbas, however, added that the House will consider the president's request at plenary today, that is Thursday. And just like I said during the opening, on the other side of it, again, the NLC, that is on the Punch newspaper, is where you can see this headline. NLC protests Tinubu's 500 billion naira subsidy palliative, demands 300 pay rise. The Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress, TUC, have thumbed down the 500 billion naira palliative proposed by President Bola Tinubu, stating that it is grossly inadequate to assuage the hardship confronting workers sequel to the fuel subsidy removal. They are demanding 300% salary increase to enable workers to cope with the challenges imposed by the deteriorating economic situation that came with the removal of the controversial fuel subsidy. On Wednesday, the president wrote to the House of Representatives seeking approval for 500 billion naira to cushion the effects of petrol subsidy removal. And now the NLC and TUC are coming with a counter request, because this is another thing to consider entirely, because in May the National Assembly passed the amendment of the 2022 supplementary budget to extend the implementation of the capital components to December 2023. But unimpressed by the amount contained in the president's letter, the NLC noted that the money will not be enough to cater for 125 million Nigerians who are believed to be living in poverty. The National Treasurer of the NLC, Hakeem Ambali, who spoke in an interview with the Punch correspondent here in Abuja, questioned the extent to which the palliative would cover. When asked if the amount will be sufficient, he said, definitely not. We have over 125 million Nigerians that are technically poor. To what extent can this cushion the effects of this economic hardship? Speaking on ways by which the president can mitigate the effects of subsidy removal, the NLC official asked for minimum wage review of 300% to all workers. Another thing, he said, granting licenses to individuals for modular refineries to refine petrol locally, granting economic stimulus loan to SMEs, that is small medium enterprises, at 15% interest rate. He added the government should provide social benefits for aged and unemployed youths, agric loans to farmers and youths through the agric bank and community banks at single-digit rates. That is, it should not cross the 9%. It should be on single-digit 1 to 9. It should not get to 10% in terms of the interest that people will be paying in terms of the loan, agric loan to be precise. Provide alternative energy supply such as massive investment in solar power and compressed natural gas to motorists, that is talking about CNG. Fix the refineries, reverse the privatization of electricity back to the state due to poor performance. Execute metro rail line projects in all states' capitals, and reduction of school fees for students of tertiary institution. these requests are quite huge. I don't know how to go about it for the federal government, but they are valid points. And in fact, I concur to this, but again, they have to sit and renegotiate with the federal government. And let's not forget that there was a negotiation between the TUC and NLC with the federal government team, which agreed that they will come back. The federal government will come back with what they want to offer after 8 weeks, and now we're waiting. The 8 weeks is going to be next month, talking about August. And Abuja, you can also call in and lend your voices on this particular headline that we have started with. The number to call is 0700 010 961 961. 0700 010 961 961. You can either call normal call or you send your SMS. We will certainly give it a voice. And if you want to use the WhatsApp platform, yes, you can do that. You can call us via the WhatsApp handle or you send your WhatsApp message. We will read it. What do you make of this request by President Bola Tinubu, 500 billion naira to be granted, to be approved as Supplementary Appropriation Act 2022 by the House of Representatives? And now, to counter that, the Nigerian Labour Congress and the TUC are saying this is certainly not going to cushion the effect of the hardship created as a result of the subsidy removal on Nigerians, when we have over 125 vulnerable Nigerians who are within the poverty line. And now you're saying 500 billion. To what extent would that go? And what we want is quite different. Increase salary of civil servant or workers with 300%. Amongst other requests is that the government should grant licenses to individuals for modular refineries to refine petrol locally, and also granting economic stimulus loan to SMEs at 15% rate. The government should provide social benefit for aged and unemployed youths, agric loans to farmers and youth through the agric bank and community bank at single-digit rate. Provide alternative energy supplies such as massive investment in solar power and compressed natural gas to motorists. Fix refineries. Reverse the privatization of electricity back to the state due to poor performance. Execute metro rail line projects in all state capitals and reduction of school fees for students of tertiary institutions. Also, speaking with the Punch, the Director General of the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, Olushola Obadimu, welcomed the idea of palliative for the poor, but he questioned how the 500 billion naira for the palliative measures would be spent. According to him, the chamber will refrain from making further comments on the matter until clarification is given on how the fund will be utilized. He said the idea in principle is good. Of course, people expect some relief. It is in the statement that we issued, we said it clearly that palliative would be a good idea. We argued for it, but talking about a specific figure is something we can't do when we don't know the scope. The concept is fine, but we need more information about the scope. On his part, the Deputy President of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Gabriel Idahosa, while commending the move, said the fund will be insufficient to cushion the impact of the subsidy removal and the devaluation of the naira. He further stated that the media and other interest groups must sustain the advocacy to ensure that the palliative measures are extended to the public and private sectors. It also said whatever the president implements will not be sufficient to wipe out the impact of the two policies, subsidy removal and floating of the currency. So it is going to be a partial effort to reduce, not eliminate the effect of those policies. So Abuja, what do you make of this particular request by the NLC and also the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for 500 billion naira to be approved by the House of Reps in the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act? The number to call and lend your voice on the conversation this morning is 070 0010 961 961. 0700 010 961 961. That is the number to call and be part of the conversation. The phone line is free and open. Let's do well to contribute our own quota to some of this information that we are bringing to you this beautiful morning. And don't forget, this is Voice of the People, 96.1 FM Abuja. Now you have a voice. Midway through, we will be linking up with our guest analyst in person of Rufai Useni, who will shed more light on the conversation that we are bringing to you. All right, stay with us and don't change it out because we have a bill to pay. We will continue in a bit.
We are your Romeo.
Be our Juliet. Visit any of our branches today for a long-lasting memory.
Romeo's Pizza, the pizza champion USA. We quench your pizza taste. The secret is in our sauce.
Can resist. Have a pizza for meal with Romeo's Pizza. Light up your family times with delicious cheesy toppings. Remember that true happiness comes at special moments, and sometimes you don't wait for it. You simply ask for it. Ask for Romeo's Pizza. It comes in different toppings with delicious fillings you can resist. Have a pizza for meal with Romeo's Pizza. Every bite is nice. Every slice brings a smile that helps you come alive. Romeo, the pizza champion. Light up your family times with delicious cheesy toppings. Remember that true happiness comes at special moments, and sometimes you don't wait for it. You simply ask for it. Ask for Romeo's Pizza. It comes in different toppings with delicious fillings you can resist. Have a pizza for meal with Romeo's Pizza. Every bite is nice. Every slice brings a smile that helps you come alive. Romeo, the pizza champion.
Point 1 FM Abuja, and we are looking at the front page review where we don't just stay on the headline, we go deep into details, and we brought you some headlines that we have looked into, talking about the 500 billion naira requests by President Bola Tinubu, where he sent a letter to the House of Representatives read by the Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, requesting 500 billion naira to cushion the effect of subsidy as palliative. And on the other side, we told you that contained on the Punch newspaper, the NLC and TUC have shown dismay in terms of the amount involved, and also they rolled out their own demand, which include 300% salary increase for masses. It's time for us to link up with our guest analyst. Rufai is already on the line. Let's just go straight ahead. Hello, good morning.
Morning, bless you. Bless Abuja.
Bless you too. I hope you're good this morning, sir.
Push him, my brother.
All right. Let's go. The first headline, obviously, is from the Vanguard that says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu sent a letter requesting 500 billion naira to cushion the effect of subsidy as palliative to the House of Reps. What do you make of that first, before we jump onto the other side, when where the NLC showed their own dismay in terms of the amount involved and reeled out their own requests to the president?
Okay. Palliatives are good, but the question is, how will the money be spent? And also, there's a big argument about the money being small. And I took out yesterday to a couple of economists, and they say, okay, I hope, and this was the word he said, I hope it's not the entire package because it's small and it's a far cry. 500 billion, that is less than $1 trillion.
Yes.
For an economy of 200 trillion, that you have taken about 6 trillion savings off, is a far cry. When you look at the other factors, and these were the other things the NLC was talking about, we have not increased wage. All right?
Yeah.
There's still a lot of hardship. Cost of things have gone up. Inflation numbers are going to come out on Saturday. Maybe if you guys can get me on air, maybe once we break the news of inflation numbers, I can do a quick analysis for you guys on Saturday about it.
Okay, why not?
And you see the other factors. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we will do that. We'll gladly do that.
Yeah. So, and you see the other factors in the economy of 500 billion. And there's also a question of how is the money going to be spent? And is the money also different from the $800 million loan by the World Bank? And also, a lot of people are asking that we thought that the government, committee and Labour said they should go meet over what will constitute a palliative. To my mind, that committee has not released their report yet.
Yes.
So how did it come about? I thought what they said we should do is the committee, and when they bring out a report, it will form the base of what the palliative should be. So it's quite very nebulous. So I think it needs to be more clarity as regards that 500 billion. What will it be used for? How will it be spent? Because we need a lot to be able to cushion the effect. And palliative is a multi-pronged approach. There are that we have to target even towards food. Like today, I've been able to narrow down in my analysis. I've been able to narrow down in Lagos. I've been able to narrow down for food, for instance.
Yes.
There are 4 staples or 4 classes of main staples Nigerians have: rice, beans, and the tubers. If you can marginally reduce prices of this, it will cushion the effect of the economy. And I said the tubers because gari forms part of the tubers.
Yeah.
For those that eat, forms part of the tubers, yams, potatoes.
Yeah.
And you know the tubers are nucleated are different. So take for instance, I'm an Ijebu man. We eat a lot of, even as we live in the village, we eat a lot of cocoyam and water yam. Right? So because Even our local delicacy, kokore, is made with a lot of water yam and cocoyam. So the tubers are variegated, what people eat across board. Then also when you add your tomatoes to it, because people also eat them with soups and the likes and all of that. So if you can target this marginally, the body will decrease. Then probably, I don't know about, but people get all sorts of forms of their protein and all of that. So that's one. So going a long way to be able to reduce the prices. Some people have said, okay, the remaining borders that have not been open, let them open the border, let food come in so that price will drop. I don't know, that's the president's prerogative. You get.
Yeah.
So, but it's how we can target that reduction. Then this also has this to go pari passu with workers' wages. At least there should be a knock-on effect as regards workers' wages. At least for those in the formal sector. And we should also support growth in the formal sector. Then also give the most vulnerable groups in society, which are the elderly people and the younger people. So, take for instance, I'm happy with what Nozulum has done, providing buses and the likes.
Yeah.
But are we also going to have, and I think going forward too, what we should do is be able to understand our energy mix. So there are potpourri of ideas we can take from. So that's just me speaking out loud. Let's move on to the topic.
All right, NLC, I want to ask you, I know NLC have given out what they want simply because there's an agreement that they will come up, the federal government will come up with the ways the palliative is going to be administered, and before then they will be able to have an agreement with the NLC and TUC. Just like you said earlier, the federal government jumped on concluding on 500 billion naira. NLC are also saying that they want to help the government to profile ways to take care of Nigerians in terms of providing palliatives, and they said the minimum wage should be reviewed to 300, should be reviewed from what it is to up to 300% for all workers. They should also grant licenses to individuals for modular refineries to refine petrol locally. Also grant economic stimulus loan to SMEs at 15% rate. One of the points here you've highlighted, that talking about the social benefit for age and unemployed youths, agric loans to farmers and youths through the agric bank and community banks at single-digit rate. Then provide alternative energy supply as massive investment in solar power and compressed natural gas for motorists. Fix refineries, reverse the privatization of electricity back to the state due to poor performance, execute metro rail line project in all state capitals, and reduction of school fees for students of tertiary institutions. All of these are very valid points, but how feasible is what I want to ask you.
A lot of them are not feasible now because they require monumental investment. I don't think Nigeria has. Metro lines, that's billions of US dollars. I don't think Nigeria has that money to that project. The rails we've done hitherto, we've taken out loans, we're still having debt to China. The ones that are feasible, yes, loans, agricultural loans. I think there's a loan on ground by the Development Bank of Nigeria. I think 450 something million thereabouts. I think the National Assembly was talking about that yesterday. Yeah, that's feasible. Also, fixing refineries. Yes, that should be feasible. I don't know what NNPC has been doing as regards the turnaround maintenance of its refineries. They keep pushing the date forward. I think that refinery should be up and working. But also, we hope that when the refinery starts, they will take effect. Yes, for modular refineries, there are a lot of modular refineries, but the problem is crude. And I think NNPC should be talked to. Because I have a lot of people that own refineries as friends, and the challenge they always is getting problematic.
Okay.
So, how the challenges of getting crude for the modular refineries, that's something we should look at. Also, the other part as regards caring for the aged, that's bad. So, agricultural, that's valid. That can also reduce the price of food. Also, I think what we should also do as regards the price of food, part of this palliative, is improve storage capacity. Make storage capacity available, grain, like that. Because you see, the problem with Nigeria is that I don't know the food sufficiency threshold. If a drought happens or crops fail and all that, how long can Nigeria go before a national reserves, grain reserves? So those are food problems we should also look at. So across board, yes, there are some that I know it's natural, but that we can look at long term that and further investment and get private sector partnerships in.
All right, not far from what you just where you just landed talking about food, there is this headline on the Vanguard newspaper that says jihadists from Niger, Mali, Libya taxing Nigerian farmers, according to a member of the House of Reps representing Tangaza Gudu Federal Constituency of Sokoto State. Sani Yakubu has raised alarm, saying jihadists from Niger, Mali, and Libya and the local bandits operating in Tangaza local government area of the state have imposed a tax on farmers in the area. This is an area that is predominantly populated by farmers and cattle rearers, and now other forces from outside the shores of Nigeria are coming in to impose tax. In fact, a couple of days ago, they attacked the villages there and killed a lot of people. During burial, they still attacked again for people not to even have a burial taking place there. So now I'm asking, what do you think we should do in terms of our territorial integrity? Because if other countries, other terrorists from neighboring countries can come into Nigeria and impose tax, then I think it poses a huge threat to the sovereignty of Nigeria.
I think the army should go in there and flush them out. Pure and simple. They should go in there and flush them out. We can't have people harass our farmers so much and we stop. I think the army should go in there and flush them out. Or do we want to have killings of our farmers on our hands, just like we killed 100 innocent farmers that all their crime was is they couldn't harvest rice in Zabamari? No, I think the army should go in there and flush them out.
All right, this one says Huriwa asked federal government to cut diplomatic ties with Finland over Simon Ekpa. The group called...
Yes, we need to... Our government talk to... I don't know now why we have come on the Finnish ambassador to Nigeria. Talk about this Simon Ekpa once and for all. I don't know why we have not done that. Because cannot harbor somebody that is causing chaos in their own country, and Finland is a member of this community. And big shame on Finland. You know why I said that?
No. Big
shame on Finland. One of the former Finnish prime ministers, Ahtisaari was a Nobel Prize winner. He's a Nobel Prize winner. And Ahtisaari helped a lot in negotiating for peace on the African continent. Only to think it's the home country of Ahtisaari that somebody sits down and causes chaos in another country. I think it's a shame on the legacy, all the good, and it's a big shame in Finland. I finished speaking about that.
All right, Nigeria can receive naira from for diaspora remittance, says Central Bank of Nigeria. Let me go into details of this so that we'll have your take on this particular headline. I'm having a bit of challenge with the network to open the full story.
No, Nigeria, yes, diaspora remittances has always been a very important part of raising local revenue. I mean, we used to collect, I think post-COVID collect about 25 billion, but I know that number hovers around billion now. And you remember how we had a couple of schemes to be able to encourage diaspora remittance, naira for dollars for every amount. So if they're saying that for diaspora, that's the really cushion effect of the dollar, you will definitely be able to get naira.
Also, there's this information that the total inflows into the investor and exporter window rose to 2.55 billion in the months of May and June, according to data obtained from the FMDQ. The data indicated that total inflows into the I&E window increased for the second consecutive month in June to $1.41 billion. That is from 1.14 billion in May, following the unification of naira rates. Are we now saying that this is part of the gains that we achieved from the unification of Naira.
But I hope you know that it's still a managed float. So part of the money we pump more into the market. Parallel market rate rose to 800. INE window rose to 778 recently.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of demand on the market. So there are big gains. It's still and the numbers keep increasing. The most important time we can use to gain when you have productivity to be able to buffer. But we're not still collecting enough USD. The economy is still on its feet. And those are the challenges the nation is facing.
All right, I think that is much we can take from you this morning, except if you have any other thing to add.
You know, let's start a bill for the elderly and young people. I keep talking about that for the option. And please let us try as much peace and development to our country. Bless.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Rufai Hussaini, for your thought on these headlines. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, Abuja, you heard that from our guest analyst, Mr. Rufai Hussaini, who has added his voice on the conversation. You can as well do that by calling the studio line to add your voice on the conversation. The number to call 0700 010 961 961 0700 010 961 961. You can as well send in your SMS or WhatsApp message, or you can use the WhatsApp portal to call in through the studio. You will get to us. All right, let's quickly take a look at this headline that is on the Vanguard. How Adamu staffed Tinubu APC candidates of funds during polls, according to Lukman, National Vice Chairman of the All Progressives Congress. The leadership crisis in the ruling All Progressives Congress APC assumed a new twist yesterday following revelations by its National Vice Chairman Northwest, Salu Muhammad Lukman, that the National Chairman, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, willfully refused to extend financial support to President Bola Tinubu and all candidates of the party in the lead up to the 2023 general election. In a briefing in Abuja, Lukman, who has been vociferous in asking Adamu to render a financial account of the party, noted that the party made over 30 billion naira from sales of forms, yet it never supported any of its candidates. Lukman was reacting to two separate television interviews granted by Adamu and the National Secretary of the party, Senator Iyola Omishuri, in which the two chieftains accused him of being a non-entity and black sheep in the party. His words: "We are expected to present a proposed national budget to the National Executive Committee for approval by the provisions of Article 13, subsection 3A 14 of the APC Constitution. I felt embarrassed when I heard the National Secretary, Omisori, say the budget of the party has been sent to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. INEC is not the approving authority of the budget of the APC. The approving authority is the NEC. Till today, we don't have a national budget, yet we made over 30 billion naira from sales of forms. Till date, as a member of the National Working Committee and majority member of the National Working Committee, maybe except for the Financial Secretary, Treasurer, and or the Auditor, who may have inside knowledge of how much was expended on the renovation of the National Secretariat of the party, we do not know what is being expended." And he said, question of funding not addressed. Talking of the national budget, we are just coming out of elections where we were not able to sustain past precedents. What was the past precedents? Under Comrade Adams Oshiomhole in 2019, every candidate of the party received something from the National Secretariat. In the last election, no candidates of the party received a dime from the party. Talking of finances, in our constitution, the NEC is supposed to approve some form of sharing formula. I am aware of that each state chapter has received about 20 million naira out of the 30 billion put together. That is about 700 million, less than a billion, which is less than 3% of the income earned. Yet we want to sweep this under the carpet. We are having states zonal, local councils, and ward levels who are left on their own. The whole question of funding of the party has not been addressed. Adamu starved Tinubu, APC candidate, of funds during polls. Asked whether any such support was extended to then candidate Tinubu, the party chieftain said he did not get a dime from the party. I'm making this public. Let them challenge and contradict me. This is just the issue that is going back and forth within the leadership of the APC, talking about the Abdullah Adamu chairmanship, and also Omishori, the secretary, coming out to make a lot of claims about Lukman being a black sheep in the party, and the man is now coming out to blow hot and give out all of these facts and figures concerning the leadership of the All Progressives Congress. But this is not healthy for the ruling All Progressives Congress, if I should say so. But a lot of people will have their contrary opinion that yes, we want these issues to be coming out to light so that we can comment and know the direction at which we are moving in this country. And talking about the direction which we are moving in this country, especially our political parties, the ruling of Progressive Congress, APC, you can as well contribute your own quota in this story by calling the studio line on 0700 010 961 961, 0700 010 961 961. That is the number you can call and get through to us in the studio. And one story that I said sounds a bit bizarre and out of the normal is this one that is contained on the Leadership newspaper, and incidentally I think it should be the last headline that we will be looking at this morning. Thunder strike kills 3 suspected kidnappers in Kwara. I'm sure you'll be wondering how comes, what is the detail of this story. Let's go into details. Thunder strike has reportedly killed 3 suspected kidnappers in the Oro Agu community in Ifelodun local government area of Kwara State. Leadership gathered that the incident happened on Monday, and a viral video of the incident showed that the victims of the thunder strike were suspected members of an 8-man kidnap gang who reportedly operated in Iwo, Osun State, about 2 weeks ago. The video clip showed decomposing bodies of the 3 young persons already burnt beyond recognition in a bush. The voice in the short video clip said that we are members of the vigilance team in Igbomina, Kwara. Our efforts against these perpetrating evil and kidnapping people in our area had yielded fruits. Thunder struck them dead, 3 of them. God will continue to make us successful against the evildoers. We shall overcome them all by the grace of God. Thank you all. And a source close to Oro Ago Development Union, Odu, confirmed the incident, adding that members of the vigilance team in the area briefed the organization on the development. When contacted, the State Police Commissioner Adelisi Oluwarutimi said that the command and its men had commenced investigation on the development. She said that veracity of the incident will be ascertained after diligent investigation. But really, this sounds strange to me. I don't know how it sounds to you out there listening to me, but it sounds strange to me that thunder will strike and kill 3 suspected kidnappers. Though we are Nigerians, we have culture, we have traditions, we have a lot of our various beliefs, but I still have a lot of unanswered questions concerning this headline. And this is the much we can take on the program today. Front page review coming through from Voice of the People 96.1 FM Abuja. Do well to stay with us because we have quite an interesting program lined up for your listening pleasure. And don't forget to check us out on our social media handles at VOP961 on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. On YouTube, we are also live. We stream our programs live. If you miss out on any of our content, you can revisit our YouTube handle, that is Voice of the People Abuja. You will get details of this program and many other interesting programs. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on our social media handles because we value that. And this station is a station that gives you voice. It gives you an opportunity for your voice to be heard. And this is where we call it a wrap. Thank you for your calls. Thank you for listening. And thank you for staying with Voice of the People 96.1 FM Abuja. My name is Ali Udoma. Enjoy your Thursday. It's a cool Thursday. Enjoy it because it's old school Thursday, just like we call it. And we're going to be playing some old school tune for your listening pleasure.